welcome. Morning coffee and chat. It is Monday morning. I hope you guys have had a great week. I am waiting to see if I actually got everything turned off here. Do we have sound? No. I can't see what the hell's going on this morning. This eye is so blurry. I have been sitting on top of this thing just trying to read what videos are about, whether or not I want to watch them. Getting to that point, January better get here fast so I can get that insurance and try to get this thing fixed. Oh, but like I said, welcome to Morning Coffee and Chat. It's been cold here. It has been bloody cold. Is this thing not even? Why is that sitting clear over there? Huh. That looks a little bit better. I guess. Looks like I'm in the center of it. Oh, okay. Somebody just. Oh, let me see here. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you. I was actually just talking to Sarah. I messaged her yesterday. Actually, tried to give her a call and warn her that all of our crappy cold winter BS is heading her way. And right before I had to start the stream, I got the message back. Oh, it's freezing. Yeah, I was watching the forecast yesterday, and it said that our teens and even single digits, possibly our wind chills, were heading towards West Virginia and Virginia. And it's like, dang, it is it is the end of the weekend, and yeah, I better fore I better forewarn poor Sarah that she needs to go out and start the car a little early. Oh, more chatty chats. Oh, and speak of the devil, there she is right there. Good morning, dear. Um, crap, I can't read half these. Uh, I'm going to have to crawl right up on top of this bloody thing again, guys. Man, if I could find that damn cord that plugs into the left side of this computer and plugs into the back of this great big 36-inch monitor right here, I wouldn't have to crawl on top of the damn laptop just to be able to see what people are saying. Well, that don't help. There's Sarah. There's Tony again. Um, my house is 44 degrees inside. Huh. Won't heat up. Little Romulus. Good to have you in here. Yeah, it is freezing cold. You need a magnifying glass. Yeah, it was actually very cold here. When we went to bed last night at about 10 o'clock, it was 14 degrees. Um, it was single digits this morning. I think we've actually, since it got well, since it got gray out. I'm not going to say since it got light out, because that's, yeah, it's just everything's got that dead gray tone to it. We are at 4 degrees right now. Wind chill is about -4, -5 degrees. Um, chilly, 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 and all of this is heading, across the Great Lakes, into um, the Northeast. Um, they have got, well, they're actually predicting um, second highest record of snowfall down through Indianapolis and stuff like that, and cold weather, and all of that is moving directly east. Uh, it started yesterday, so crappy, cold, snowy stuff heading across the Ohio Valley into Pennsylvania and then into uh, West Virginia and Virginia. So, yeah, if you think yesterday was hell, Sarah, um, it's coming. Now, if you listen to the forecast models that they're putting out, by the end of this week, most of the Midwest and Indiana and Ohio and everything is going to be seeing temperatures possibly 60 degrees above normal. They're talking about by the end of the week, Indianapolis seeing 55 degrees. So, and they're talking about that lasting for a couple days. I've not seen the forecast for today, heading out 7 days. So, but yeah, they're talking. Yesterday they were talking about uh, Indianapolis possibly seeing 55 degrees by the end of the week, but then the temperatures bottom right back out again. So we'll just have to see. Sadly enough, guys, I cannot read this chat. The eye is that bad this morning. That's what I said. I really, really hope and pray that January comes fast so I can get that Blue Cross and try to get this at least this one eye fixed. I am too young to go blind and just don't want to mess with it. Um, it's freaking cold. You need a magnifying glass. It didn't get above 4 yesterday. It was so cold that trying to clear the windows on the truck, that defroster cracked the windshield, and there new 12 or so inches of snow we got Saturday. Yeah, we were real lucky. We only got about 3 inches of snow on Saturday. Um, I mean, I went out and jingle, 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 jingle. I went out and cleaned the car off for the wife yesterday, and it was cold. I mean, it was cold. I had on one pair of regular cotton socks. I had on my Norse sheep wool socks, and had on my insulated tack boots. And inside of a minute, my toes were starting to tingle. So yeah, it was a very and it was actually 4 degrees warmer than this morning. So I don't want to go out there today. And frankly, excuse me, frankly, I don't have to. Daughter's already gone to school. Wife will be leaving for work in about 15 minutes or so. And I don't have to go out. Well, I take that back. I've got to go out like 11 o'clock and bring the trash bin back up from the road. But other than that, I'm staying in the 72-degree house. I am not messing with it. Oh, I have been sick enough with the wife having uh, COVID. The when I was gone at my sister's for Thanksgiving, um, like I said, I think she slept on my pillow while I was gone because I came back home. And, when I was down in Indiana with my family, my mom was sick. My dad started getting sick. My brother in law was sick. And I was just fine until I came home. And I was home for 2 days. And then I got sick. And, here it is, what, 2 weeks later. I'm still all stuffed up. I can't breathe at night. Um, Blowing my nose about 1 box of Kleenexes a day, half a roll of toilet paper, 7 or 8 paper towels, the cat. It's been a hell of a year, and I don't want to get sick no more. Okay, what do we got here? I am already tired of winter, and it ain't even winter yet. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love winter. I love the snow. I love how people decorate their homes for the holidays and stuff like that. But you know, and I don't want to bust anybody's bubble. I mean, Tony's just a couple years older than I am, but him and I are like the oldest ones in here. And I'm here to tell you, and Tony can verify, the older we get, the harder the pretty is on us. It's nice seeing people decorate their house and put out the decorations and watching kids play in the snow and sled down the hills down here at the school and stuff. I love it all, but being out in it kicks your butt a little bit more as you get older. You can still love it, but it is going to be a little rougher on you when you get back inside and think you're going to either or get back home and you think you're going to decorate or something like that. You know, we have a pre-lit Christmas tree we put up every year. It was Grandma and Grandpa's. They've had it for over 2 decades, and we 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 put the damn tree up last week, and there was maybe out of a almost a 7 foot tall Christmas tree, um, there was maybe 30 lights that still worked on it. So, you know, instead of taking the tree apart and cutting all the little zip ties and pulling all the lights off of it, the wife just wants to go out and buy more lights and put them on it. And we keep doing this, and another 10 years that poor Christmas tree is going to be more light than it is tree. So, and that was the wife right there. We just heard the ectoplastic shot coming, and I guarantee she's asking me to start the car. Yep, she's asking me to start the car. I've been offering to buy her an automatic starter for her vehicles for 5 years. Guys, talk real nice amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a second. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love you guys to pieces, and I love sitting here talking to you. But as any of you that are married knows, happy wife, happy life is very, very founded in reality. So give me just a second, and I'll be right back. Go outside in my damn slippers just to turn a key. So cold out there right now. Fuck, damn polar bears are shivering. All right, there we go. It is started. Her little heated seat thing is going. Hopefully, hopefully we can get that um, heat actuator or whatever it is that, for those of you that didn't know, she has no heat in the damn Explorer. The fan motor's got this little door on top of it that actuates between AC and heat. And the actuator that works the door has malfunctioned. It needs replaced. But it's also, we took it to a local mechanic shop and they want over $800 to replace this thing. Now that includes the $55 part. So $745 labor. And you have to take out the entire center console, the lower part of the dashboard to get up in there, to take two 18 millimeter screws out, pull this little white box down that's no bigger than that, and take two plugs off, put two plugs back on, and then go through the whole process again. But it's like 2 hours to take all this stuff out for a 1 minute replacement and then put everything back in. So hopefully we'll be able to get that actuator, and she'll have heat again right about the time that she no longer needs it. Let me see here. Let's get back to this. People around here decorate for every holiday, so that gets rather mundane. Yeah, I can see that. They do around here too. Um, now I I warmed up the truck this morning to take the missus to work. I asked how she was doing, and she said fine. I didn't, I don't, I didn't say a thing, just turned around and brought her home. Yeah, sometimes you got to. Am I behind? Yeah, I'm behind here. Oh, don't you love winter? Yeah, y'all would have got like a serious laugh out of me on Thursday, and many of you would have had brand new funny winter videos for YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. I got a hold of my buddy Mike, because our local food pantry that you can only go to once a month was supposed to have all this wonderful turkeys and hams and stuff like that for December. So I had him take me over to the food pantry, and I wound up coming home with like milk and like 5 bags of canned goods. No turkeys, no hams, um, chicken thighs. But anyway, he couldn't get up my driveway in his Crown Victoria, so he parked clear down by the road, and I had to, grab all the bags up and make it across the 15 inches of snow um, between the sidewalk and the road, and then go up the stairs carrying these bags of groceries. And watching my blind butt outside carrying this weight with my left knee messed up and being sunblind, and then walking, 15 inches of snow all the way through the yard to the back deck and getting up the deck and getting the door. Let's just say it was funny. It was, as a matter of fact, it was so hilarious that I was getting home from the food pantry about the time the daughter was getting off the school bus, and I didn't even. I was in so much pain and so sunblind. I didn't even realize she was standing in the yard watching me. Of course, I wanted to punch her in the nose for not coming and offering to help me, but just the way she was laughing as she walked in the other door the same time I was walking in the back door. Um, yeah, I wanted to punch her in the nose. Damn kids. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, there's a lot more stuff down here. Um, oh, I can't bloody see. Man, I don't know, but I'm about ready to do away with these wrenches because I can't see a bloody damn thing. I can't see who's saying. Oh, that's Jay. That's Tony. Morning, Jay. Um, there's Santee. Good morning, sir. There's Jan. Good morning, dear. Hope you're doing good. And I forgot I hit some snow that a snow plow pushed on the edge hospital parking lot, and it busted the hell out of the front bumper cover of poor truck. Oh, go figure. So much for younger generation help. Yeah, well, it's kids. Yeah, I know. Coffee. I'm okay, thank you. How are you? I am good, thank you. That's supposed to be Santee. Stupid autocorrect. The really bad thing about whatever this is, if it's cataracts, if it's diabetic retinopathy, I literally anything, and usually it is uh, dark letters on a white background, but I've got dark mode on the computer, and the letters and the blue fading onto the black is so foggy that I literally have to, pinch my fingers together and go right up against the bridge of my nose to block out light, and then look. Have a good day, hon. And then look through that little crack to block out all other light, and then just concentrate line for line on what I'm reading. That's the pain about this. And like I said, until I get the insurance in January, and can actually go back to the doctor, I'm not really going to know what's going on here. Um, Again, fingers crossed that, it's something that they can fix. But, I have filed for disability. Again, for those of you that's been with me for a long time, you know that I did this back in like 2019 because of the diabetes. Actually, did it in 2017, but it took until almost 2021 to get a court hearing, and then it was an over-the-phone court hearing because they weren't doing any live court because of the pandemic. And of course, the work, the occupational therapist or whatever, or occupational advisor, if you will, that was in court said, oh, well, even with diabetes, even with uncontrolled diabetes, he could sit in a chair in an office somewhere. And I'm like, do you not know where I live, dude? Our biggest our biggest business around here is a cafe. There is no sitting in chairs. And his analogy of the situation was sell your home and move someplace where there is jobs. So yeah, and then of course my attorney sat there with their thumb up their ass and didn't say anything, didn't argue the point, didn't help out. So I mean, those 4 or 5 years that I worked on at that time was a big, huge frickin' loss. But now I've got an attorney that, and I know I've been told don't take this at weight. Take it with a grain of salt. Their success rate with disability is like over 85% because they don't go to court until they have enough that their occupational advisors tell them, no, this guy cannot work. So now we're going on the point that 3 years ago they canceled all the insurance and stuff. And I actually, weirdly enough, just watched an RN that works in the diabetic field yesterday who was saying that she noticed that a very high number, including herself, who is a type 1 diabetic, all of their insurances were canceled. These people are coming and have no way to pay for their diabetic supplies, for any equipment they need, for anything they're having to pay out of pocket. So what's going on with diabetes and insurance now? First they canceled mine. Earlier this year they canceled the daughter's. Thank God her mom and her, you know, sperm donor both had insurance on her. Of course, a lot of the equipment she originally had, she couldn't get anymore, so she had to switch off to different equipment that their insurances would cover. But, at least she's covered again. And then hopefully next month, I can get insurance and get back on my blood clot medicine, my heart medicine, my blood pressure medicine, my diabetic medicine, and get this eye worked on. So, I don't know. All I know is something has to happen. I have been a month and a half now with zero income. And we are starting to hit that struggle point again with the house, utilities, especially with food, with the holidays. Um, Something has to happen. Something has to happen. So, let me see here. Coffee, Mr. Santee. Hi, Dante. Okay. I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I'm good. That was supposed to be Santee. Stupid autocorrect. Hey Santee, and oh, I'm guessing that. Yep, that's Steven. I can see the picture. Um, it's no use, Drew. I'm still having trouble of how to invite guests on my live stream. Um, well, I was actually outside yesterday, trying to get the front walk swept off and stuff, and that's why I never received. Well, I received your invite to your stream. Um, Not that I would actually fit into a country music stream. I don't sing anymore. I don't have any instruments here to play, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you're so intent on having me come up on your stream. I guess I'm just pretty, uh, because I have nothing to contribute. I mean, you got my support, you got my friendship, you know. Um, Now, if you'd done like a, a historic live stream, or you'd done a Wild West paranormal live stream, I could contribute. But yeah, I don't have much to contribute to the country music field. I was drunk the day my mom got out of prison, and I went to pick her up in the rain. That's about as good as it gets. So, Santee, I hope you're staying warm. I mean, if you're not, stay tuned to later this week. They're talking a major warm up, um, by the end of this week. They're saying parts of Texas are going to see 80 degrees uh, by this weekend. So I'm sure you're probably going to see um, 70s, I would say, up there where you're at. So, well, they're talking about 50s in Indianapolis. And I mean, you were born in this area, Santee. It don't get um, 55 degrees the week before Christmas without there being some kind of hell to pay right after Christmas. But they're talking, they're talking in 55 degrees by the end of this week in Indianapolis. So sadly enough, though, right now Sarah's getting all of our crap in Virginia and West Virginia, that we had the last couple of days, including our mornings like this morning when it's only 4 degrees. So I feel sorry for anybody out east of us. You know, Lee McGinnis, Rusty, Sarah, Jan, and Jay. It's gonna be very interesting for the next week. Way down here, way up here. Weird noises coming out of my phone. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're still forecasting. They are still forecasting this being one of those 13-year winners. And that 13-year thing normally comes plowing in right after Christmas. We very seldom ever have this much snow before Christmas. But the 13-year thing normally comes in right after Christmas, usually the first or second week of January. Temperatures bottom out to 30, 40, 50 below zero. Snow falls like crazy. Um, that's funny. Trash trucks spinning their tires. I could hear it out there. He he just hit his accelerator, and you heard his tires go. Of course, they're not salting or sanding our roads; they're plowing them, and that's about as far as they're going with it. I guess much like ground beef, sand was too expensive this year um, to buy. So you know, shouldn't have raised the tariffs on that sand. Is all I can say. Oh, who that? What that? What that? Oh, that's him. No reason to be sorry, Stephen. Dude, I'm always up for coming on and being part of somebody's live stream. You know, I've been working on setting up live streams myself, and I have no, I've completely forgot. I can't get StreamYard to work on the other channel, the Paranormal Papa channel. I've been going to start doing live Friday night podcasts, and I can't get it to work on there for some reason. So I'm spending like the next week and a half or 2 weeks tinkering around with StreamYard so I can start doing the live interviews on Friday night. Uh, but I'm always up to come onto somebody's live stream and talk and stuff. But just sitting there, nobody wants to look at this. I mean, I don't want to look at it. I've told you guys before. I get out of bed in the morning and go get ready for my day in the dark, so I don't have to look at it. I put on the eye patch. I brush my gums. I brush my beard. I brush my hair, and I put on a stocking cap. And this is how I spend the day. So, oh, I'm back to it. Um, we have a heat wave on. It is whooping 3 degrees. I looked at 7:30. It was -1. Oh, that's Jay. Yeah, it was 4 degrees this morning. Wind chill was probably right around -4, -5, -6, right around in that area. Um, yeah, it's chilly. It's chilly through this whole area, and but like I said, they're talking about it getting warm again by the end of the week. So we'll see what happens. Do I believe 55 degrees? Not really. Indianapolis just yesterday reported its second highest record of snowfall pre-Christmas in 100 years. So uh, we'll see what happens with that. Um, Today is supposed to be the best day of this brutal cold. supposed to be the last day. Yeah, that's what they're saying about Indiana too. Of course, they're not saying anything about Michigan, but supposedly this heat thing is supposed to shoot right underneath us. According to the map they showed, probably about 30 miles south of South Bend, which is about that far from the border to Michigan. But yeah, about 30 miles south of South Bend is where this heat wave is supposed to start at. Of course, they're still showing white and purple and stuff up here, um, which is fine. I mean, Indiana drivers already have a hard enough time keeping it between the lines, but you put them on ice and snow, and it's just a comedy show. It is currently 60. It is currently, I can't bloody read that. It is currently 6 with 14 wind chill. I might get to play Santa this coming weekend. The weather has killed my playing Santa on Sunday in the last 3 Sundays. Morning, zombie. Hope you're doing good this morning. That is -14. Yeah, I kind of figured with the ambient temperature of 6 that you meant -14. Um, yeah, it's cold. It is definitely cold. Hey, TJ, good to see you, bud. Yeah, sorry guys. The eye is just really, really bad this morning. It has been for the last couple of days. But this morning, everything is just a blur. I mean, it's like I was saying earlier, I gotta to spread these two fingers and put it right up against the bridge of my nose to block off all light and then peek through that crack to be able to read anything. So I'm just I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I mean, I know that the doctors aren't going to, confront the state, but I'm really hoping that these attorneys are as good as I hear they are, because they're not afraid. They have approached states before, because of their practice of canceling people's insurance that needed it, and won a lot of money. Um, I don't want a lot of money. I'll be honest. Um, I want to be able to help support my family. Much like the wife said the other day, we don't want to become one of those rich families that stick their nose up at people. We want to be able to put money in the bank, maybe just have the money to go out and eat once every 2 or 3 months. The wife and I have not had a date in 6 months, because of her work schedule and my work schedule, because of the financial situation. You know, Thanksgiving sucked. Um, the wife and daughter were here alone on the Friday following Thanksgiving because I was gone because she had to work on Thanksgiving. Now we got Christmas coming up with a new granddaughter, a granddaughter that's almost 3 years old. Our own kid who has just recently taken up a huge love of roller skating. You know, you don't need to be rich to live, but you got to live to be rich. And rich isn't exactly a financial thing. How is it that old saying goes? It's not the life you live, it's the living while you're alive, or it's not the it's not the money you have while you're alive. It's the memories you make that make you a poor person or a wealthy person or something. I don't remember how it goes. Oh, bloody hell. Um, um, are you sure you have the patch on the right eye? Quite honestly, Tony, yep, that's Tony. Quite honestly, it's getting to that point where, well, this one here I don't see anything out of. I mean, it is a haze. It's even starting to silver over. But if it gets any worse, I'm going to have to wear patches over both eyes, because it was not very far past this point and it may only being monocular instead of binocular. It might not interfere with my equilibrium and with my that nausea level and everything that I was feeling when I had eyes at different levels. Like this one here, I was still out here, but I couldn't see anything, and that was the reason I started wearing the patch, was to keep me from getting nauseous and dizzy and stuff like that. But now this eye, what, 6 months later, is getting to that point where this one was when it started giving me problems. So I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that sitting here trying to do videos and stuff is quite funny, because I've literally got to pick these things up and look at them like this to be able to see what I'm doing. And when you're dealing with a stylist and you're like, it's actually kind of funny. Um, but again, if I could find that damn cord, and like I said, you guys all know what a USB plug is. Charge your phone. The big plug that goes into the part that goes into the wall. It's that large plug on both ends. I can't find one anywhere. I wouldn't have to lean down and to read stuff if I had the 36-inch hooked up, because I could sit right here and read it because the letters would be that big. Oh, but for now, we're doing this. Drew, I need to get in touch with you sometime soon. I have a couple questions. Mike said only you could answer. Okay. Jan J, hope you two are doing good. We're Okay, Ty. Thanks for asking. Hope you and B and the kids are good. I'm going to head out. Have a lot of phone calls to make this morning. All right, Jay. You just take care. I think is that Jay. Yeah, that's Jay. Yep. You take care of your business, bud, and I'll holler at you guys later. Um, oh, that's not going to work. That's right on the line of the cataract, or whatever it is. I believe that is a USB cord. USB. Yeah, see, I've got cords again. One big end, one little end. But it's this end on both ends of the cord that I need. One that plugs in here and one that plugs in the back of the TV. Um, but I don't even know the name of it. When I try to describe it to people, they're like, "Huh? Do they make that?" Well, obviously they do, because that says input in and that says input out, and it's the same bloody damn cord. So obviously or the same bloody end. So obviously they do make it. USB A to A. Hmm. Your bloop, bloop. Oh well, I'm going to keep going. I need to find somebody right here local that can come in and help me do these videos and stuff. Um, I wish YouTube had a feature that AI could read your comments, um, when you're doing like a live stream or something like that. Just have some kind of a little voice thing on here that when a new comment popped up, it, like Tony, it would pop up, it would say your name, and then it would read the message. Um, that'd be really cool. YouTube, if you're listening, um, yeah, get your engineers working on that. That way, uh, your blind users, um, still have access to doing the same things that your sighted users can do. Damn, is that a Christmas present? No, it's a Facebook message. Bloody hell. I have yet to figure out why a person suffering from hot flashes is the one controlling the thermostat in the house, and why that person suffering from hot flashes is keeping it so damn hot in the house. Nobody else is freezing. I mean, when you're running around the house of an evening in just a pair of sweatpants, and the kid is sleeping in her room in a t-shirt because we're dying because it's so frickin' hot, and then you turn it down at night when you're sleeping because you like to cover up with a blanket and can't sleep without one. But then you turn it up 5 degrees during the daytime when you're gone. And I don't get it. I don't get it. All I know is that I'm dying right now. It feels like it's 85 degrees in this house. I have to fill out an application for Shoal Creek Living History Museum down by Kansas City. What for? Never mind. Send me a message on Messenger and tell me about it. Um, you've seen at least Messenger I can enlarge and read a little easier. That's why I video chat, people. I video chat so I don't got to worry about reading stuff. That sounds amazing. 80 tropical heat wave. Yeah, that's what I was telling Santee earlier. Um, the weather towards the end of this week is, they're saying, upwards of 60 degrees higher, 55, 60 degrees higher than normal for this time of the year. They said parts of Texas are going to see 80 degrees. You know, Indianapolis, they're calling for almost 55 degrees in Indianapolis. Up here above Indiana, we're still going to be freezing our tails off. But you very well could get some of those warm temperatures in Missouri. So definitely, okay, yep, that isn't working because then I'm just blowing 4-degree air in on myself. So this side's hot and this side's cold. What'd that say? It's supposed to be 50s this week. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, I forgot the water line is frozen to the house. Oh, that's great. Thankfully, I stored some water. This winter's rough, that's for sure. Well, hopefully the wife made it because she left right about 8:30 or so, and it took her 45 minutes to get home last night. So hopefully she made it in a half hour today, but I guarantee she didn't because with no heat in that bloody car, her fingers are pretty numb and her feet go numb, and she don't realize that she's going too bloody fast, and there's nothing I can do to go help her. So oh, um, you're yes. How did you let that happen? And the server I just has crashed due to the latest Windows update. I forgot to plug in the heater in the basement. Maybe I should invest in one. Oh. So how's things going with the music, Ty? Have you been working on a Christmas album? Did you follow my suggestion the last time we talked about country Christmas music? Maybe a no. I'm not going to say that. I'm just not. I actually just thought of a really cool title um, for a Christmas song. Um, Quite the suggestive title, but you can go anywhere with the music, and I haven't even been able to do any more music with the weather and everything going on here. Well, I mean, you're a step ahead of most performers, dude. I mean, you've written and released multiple songs in the last few months, and you don't want to wear yourself thin too fast. Um, Not when you've done these sets and released them so quickly. Uh, yeah, I mean, what have you done? Like six, seven, eight different songs in just the last couple months. You know, Clay Walker wasn't that quick doing it. It'll take him a year to release 7 or 8 songs, and you've done it in like just the last couple 3 months. Um, Dashing through the snow in a two-door hardtop Ford. 16 tracks. So that's basically 2 albums that you've released in 3 months. I mean, maybe, just maybe, you should try working on some videos to go with some of those songs. Um, it's okay to release the music, but then go back and start releasing videos to some of them to stretch out that newness. Um, I just look and see how some of the popular bands, even some of the newer bands are doing it, and they're releasing the music and then going back like a month later and releasing a video to the music. And not only is the initial onslaught of the music getting views, but then the video really grabs the viewers. And it's not that hard to do. I mean, you don't got to be in every single scene, and I know you can do videography. Don't let don't let the ratings get you down. Those those depend on a push from the algorithm. Good morning, everyone. Oh God, who's this? I can't read it. All right, we've had. Oh, Michigander man. Okay. No, I just can't see, Rob. This eye is so blurry that I'm bending down and happen to block out all the light and look through a crack between my fingers, and the blue blends into the black background. Um, but it's the only way I can read the uh, the comments. So anybody who's blue, it blends into the black, and I can't see that clear. Um, but then I start thinking Michigander man. So yeah, I'm old. My memory's fading, but the mind is, well, it's not sharp as a tack anymore. Um, Sharp as the edge of a piece of paper. I mean, it'll still cut you. Just don't stab and poke no more. This is how's how's Lisa doing, Rob? I've not uh, I've not heard from her in a while. Um, have a hard time reading Facebook, so um, I just need to give her a holler and see how she's doing. I'm actually working on um, a video right now for the other channel that she's in, and well, I take that back. I was working on a video that she was in. As a matter of fact, the day I met her at Ghostorama, and oh, I recognize that ding ding. That's TikTok, or yeah, TikTok. But yeah, I need to get a hold of her and see how she's doing. I noticed, um, I noticed that she's not listed Lisa Marie Nottingham anymore. Um, I hope everything's okay. Like I said, I haven't heard anything from her since her last um, report on her medical about finally finding doctors that agreed that there was something seriously wrong um, affecting her system, and yeah, it's about time. That poor little thing needs to get a good doctor that can help her. Um, really, I figured since you have more experience, would have made way more. She's still dealing with like her disease, more progress. She's dealing with family issues. I must start recording stuff. I am forgetting stuff that I would rather not. I can't sing, Ty, so I don't sing. I've been seeing her posts on Facebook. Yeah, she's had it really rough. I feel so sorry for her. You know, I know I should be more worried about myself, but what will be will be. I'm more worried about the people I care about, and their health. My dad has been sick as hell since they went back to Tennessee 2 weeks ago. I talked to him day before yesterday, and he was finally up moving around. Um, but since they went back to Tennessee a week after Thanksgiving, he's been on the couch. He's been on the couch. He's been sleeping. He's been sick. Mom's been pumping medicine into him, and he actually sounded good day before yesterday. Of course, I'm going to call him again today and, see how he's doing. Um, of course, the cooler temperatures are reaching down there now. He's not able to get outside and do anything. My dad gets cabin fever like I do. Not being able to go out and do things outside and stuff like that in the wintertime, camp, go places. The old man gets cabin fever, not being able to go to his shed and work on things. Um, he's got this nasty habit of, when he's going down the mountain or whatever to go into Pikeville, Tennessee, he'll look for, little pieces, little, like little those iron plows that you pull behind horses or something. He looks for them at the roadside. He'll pick them up, take them home, sand them down, repaint them. And my mom has got a collection of little hand implements out in her front yard that he has repainted and stuff. Little wagons and little plows and spades and stuff like that. And he gets like really bad cabin fever, not being able to go out and do that stuff. So, I mean, that hurts a lot when it's like really cold. Um, of course, the old man's, what, 3 months away from 84. And, when it's nice weather, you can't slow him down. So, on Facebook. I'll be so happy once the damn winter weather is over. A lot of abandoned places I've been told about, but I can't get out to explore them because of location they're at and somewhere in the woods. Got a week to go. Yeah, see, I've been wondering about that, Rob, because I keep, every time I see, uh, one of your videos pop up, I watch it and it's like, man, this has to suck because, you're almost 2 hours north of me, and I'm constantly hearing about how that area where you're at, you know, Grand Rapids and further north is getting pounded, and it's like, dude, how in the hell is he getting out and doing anything in this kind of weather? I mean, if it's cold here, it's going to be even colder up there, more snow, more wind. It's like, man, I just don't see how it's possible. I just don't see how it's possible. No, I remember snowy Decembers as a kid. It was normal. Yeah, really. We in central Illinois are getting hammered this year. I think we have got 20 inches so far. Um, Down here, we got we got right at about 19 or 20 inches during the Thanksgiving storm, and uh, the little intermittent snows we've had over the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Um, we've probably got another, yeah, 8 or 10 inches. Like I said, yesterday morning I went out to clean the car off, and there was over 3 inches on the car, just from Saturday night. Then it snowed all day yesterday. We had another 3 inches by last night. I went out yesterday and just kind of pushed the snow off to the side. 'Cause, I mean, it's that deep on the deck, except for the walkway from the back door to the steps on the deck. Um, and then it snowed a little bit last night. I noticed that the deck was completely covered back up again this morning. So yeah, we've probably got 32, 33, 34 inches of snow so far up here. But of course, we get lake effect where you don't in Illinois. So yeah, um, we haven't got 20 inches of snow the entire winter for the past several years. Yeah, we've been the same way here. Um, I stockpiled tons of videos for winter time, so I've got a lot to last through the whole winter. But what I do get out, I did document an old building that the year hopefully not gonna shut down. Lake effect is real on the southwest side of the lake. Rare is rare on the, yeah, lake effect is rare on the southwest. Yeah, exactly. Um, I am in Wyoming. We've got snow, but we haven't got that bad like Lake Michigan area, Muskegon, Ludington, etc. It's pretty normal here. It's supposed to be near 40 next week. Be right back. Let's get more coffee. Yeah, we were talking about the temperatures earlier. The fact that they're saying, Indianapolis could see 55 degrees this weekend. Most of the snow that they're getting or they've got will be gone by, beginning of next week. They're only talking about those warm temperatures for about, 48 hours. But it's still going to be very unusual to see 55 degrees the week before Christmas. So yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see what comes of it. Because they're still saying it's a possibility, but they're also saying it depends on what the jet stream and the atmospheric river do. Um, Now the map I was watching, or the forecast I was watching yesterday, showed about 30 miles south of South Bend, all the way down into northern Kentucky, heating up, but us still being in the white and purple. So we'll we'll just we'll yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what comes of it. Oh man, I mean, you know, I'm all for a white Christmas. I love a white Christmas as long as it's not 3 foot of snow on Christmas. I want the family to be able to come in for Christmas, especially since, I was away for Thanksgiving weekend and Steph and the daughter had to have their own little Thanksgiving dinner the day after Thanksgiving when she was scheduled off work. And it was just the two of them. Yeah, when I came home on Monday, we made green bean casserole and sweet potatoes and ate leftover turkey and ham and macaroni and cheese and stuff. We had our own little Thanksgiving on Monday after Thanksgiving. Um, but with the granddaughters and stuff, I'm really hoping it's a white Christmas, but not a super snowy Christmas. So, the mother in law, the son, his wife, the granddaughters can all make it in and we can celebrate Christmas together. Uh, Hate to think I've had my tree up all this time with only one strand of lights working and nobody's here to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I love my white Christmas. We're supposed and good news. The water thawed. Awesome. We're supposed to have 40 degrees on Christmas. See, I've not seen any forecasts for Christmas yet, so I have absolutely no clue what it's going to be. Um, Good morning. Drew and everyone, sorry I haven't been around. I have been dealing with medical issues and other things. Well, I hope you've got them taken care of, man. I mean, that's terrible, man. I really hate knowing that people that I know, people that I care about, are suffering during this time of the year. It's just it's so rough, um, so rough on us anyway. You know, the holiday season and everything, but to know that there are additional sufferings going on that, I mean, I don't wish hateful shit on nobody, but uh, especially, people that I know, people that I care about, people that I consider friends or family, to be suffering through the to be physically suffering on top of everything else that goes on during this time of the year is terrible. And I really hope that things are coming about and heading in the right direction for you. Um, we are supposed to be 47 on Thursday. Not 4 inches of snow fell yesterday and are digging out. Doing better now. Good. I'm glad. We're supposed to have 54 on Thursday. I am. I am for a green. I am off for a green Christmas. I've had too many white Christmases. I would love to see green. See, that's all we've had the last few years is green Christmases. No wonder people are sick. Hey, Rob, good morning. We got snow and the temp dropped down into the teens last night. No, God, the wife's at work, has been for supposedly a half hour. I hope nothing's. If anybody needs eggs, if anybody needs eggs, Walmart has got their eggs a 60 count. A 60 count of eggs. What is that? 5 dozen? Um, but a 60 count of eggs less than $10. Now, we normally wouldn't get that many, but the wife just paid $4 for a dozen eggs here at the store. the only store we have here in town. But her boss lives in Niles, Michigan. And she went to Walmart yesterday and then told the wife, that, yeah, told the wife that um, their 60 count was less than $10. So the wife had her pick some up because that's one of the things the doctor has the daughter eating a lot of is eggs to help her gain some of that weight that she's been dropping. Uh, and she just messaged me and asked me if they'd be okay in the car, and I told her, sure. Where else are you going to put them? They're going to be a little warmer in the car than they are just sitting out beside the car. I mean, she don't got to worry about anybody stealing her eggs. They have private parking behind the building under surveillance. So I mean, it's not like anybody's going to steal her eggs. So I told her, yeah, just put them in the car. They'll be good. Um, we get yesterday was first snow we've had so far. I don't care for the or snow at all, especially when I work in it every single day. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. Morning, people. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Walmart usually has pretty decent prices on eggs and milk. Oh, how gas is $3 a gallon. Yeah, I don't understand this gas thing. Our our fearless leader was just on TV the other day talking about how gas prices are coming down and fuel oil prices are coming down and food cost is going down and all this, and I'm like, where? It's not here. One week our gas is 260 a gallon. The next week it's 325. We're still paying uh, almost $7 a pound for the cheapest ground beef. Chicken prices have gone up. Eggs are still up. Which food must be shrimp and lobster that's going down. The stuff we can't afford anyway. Okay, I was looking at the fact that any sunlight that we do get today is going to warm up the inside of the car. Um, which your refrigerator hovers right above freezing anyway. It's usually right around 36 to 40 degrees, 36 to 38 degrees, um, where your freezer is in the high or low 20s to the teens. So that's what I was looking at, was the fact that they shouldn't freeze in the car, but up until when and if any sunlight does come out to warm up the inside of the car. Yeah, I didn't take that into consideration, so definitely good thinking there. Don't want cracked, unsafe 60 counts of eggs. Um, or it was when I took $5. Pork has been cheap for months. Now, see, we've not had a problem with pork here late or here in town. The pork prices have not been affected at all. But our ground beef here about what 2 months ago went from 249 a pound to 999 a pound, and I'm talking the 70/30 stuff. Um, they took our big chubs of ground beef out and was bringing in the little 1 pound ones, and they were selling them for right at $10 a piece. And where the big ones were selling for $20, they're bringing in the little 1 pounds and selling them for a buck or $10 a piece. Um, chicken chicken went up to almost $4 a pound. The wife tried to go out. She wanted to make her homemade chicken strips the other day, and chicken was for 4 chicken breasts. It was over $20. Even the stuff that's about to expire that goes in the manager's special bin. You know, she was looking at. That's normally where we get our ground beef at. She was looking at 3 pounds of 70/30 in the manager's special the other day, and it was almost $25 for 3 pounds. Normally we pay $12 for that. $10, $12. So yeah, it's still high. It's going down, but it's still high. Um, okay, it's time to go to get my day started. Um, Gotta pay a couple bills and make ups and get to edit a bunch of short videos. All right, Rob, you take care of yourself, bud, and be safe out there. And keep doing what you can doing, man. We're all patiently sitting around. We understand what winter weather's like. You just take care of yourself and be safe. gas is only 2.50 here, and food prices have dropped here also. So it's happening slowly. Yeah, apparently, I think they forgot about these little towns, though. The bigger towns, I guess, are dropping, but they forgot about us little people. I don't like chicken, so I don't pay attention to prices. See, I'm not crazy about chicken either. After you've gone almost a month and only ate chicken and pork, I'm ready for a cheeseburger. I am ready for a cheeseburger. That is your store ripping people off. Chuck is 5.43 a pound. Well, see, even though our store is privately owned, the products that go in the store are supplied by the our family corporation. So our store, even though the shell is privately owned, is still part of a corporation owned by a larger corporation, and they have to set the prices at what the larger corporation tells them to. We know the young man that owns the store, and when he bought the store 2 years ago, 3 years ago from the owner, um, he was all excited about dropping prices and competing with these larger stores in towns around us. And when he purchased it, he found out he couldn't drop the prices. He had to do what corporate told him to do. And that's why a lot of his employees make the 30-minute round trip or 45-minute round trip into Niles and do their shopping at Walmart and stuff like that. Or the 50-minute round trip and go to Three Rivers and go to Walmart or Myers or something. Um, because he can't do anything about the prices. He's not real happy about it. He's not happy. Matter of fact, a lot of the product that they used to carry, they quit ordering. They quit ordering. We used to have our family brats. They had beer brats, Italian sausage, bratwurst, different flavors of brats and stuff. And they sat right there below Johnsonville brats, and were several dollars less for a pack of brats than what Johnsonville was. And they started bringing the price up on them. And he said, people are not don't want to pay for generic the same as they're paying for a brand name, and they just quit carrying them. Didn't order them anymore. And it's really sad because I like the Our Family brats more than the Johnsonville brats. But he's right. Who's going to pay $5 or $6 for a pack of brats? What's considered a generic brat, when the Johnsonville is right at $4.99 or $5.50 for the same amount? Who's going to pay $1 more for a generic? If it was me, I would have kept the Our Family and threw out the Johnsonville, because I mean, all they do are brats. No beer brat, no chili brat, no cheddar cheese. Well, I guess they do occasionally have cheddar cheese brats. Um, no, peppers and onion brats. No, anything. So yeah, I would have got rid of the Johnsonville, but corporate says keep the brand name, push out the generic if you're going to get rid of one. That's why I'd never own a store like that. I don't want to be told what I can and can't provide my customers. I want to provide them what they want, not what somebody that doesn't even live in this state wants me to provide for them. Um, I don't like that is store. Ground beef is ground chuck is $5.43 a pound at the Walmart. Um, I'm about to drop a whole Christmas musical on our Vingman music channel. 14 songs. It was a major collab. Oh, that sounds cool. Can't wait to hear that. Got a link. I prefer the Walmart brats over Johnsonville. I order a lot of food from Walmart because they deliver so much easier than dragging groceries home by bus. Like he be smarter to drop the corporate ties and just buy shit from the Walmart. I think there are probably times when he wished he could drop the corporate ties. But that was something that was, I think, honestly, knowing the guy that owned the place before he did and the way that it's really it's messed up because he's got a minimum price that he can offer product for, but he can set his max price wherever he wants to. And that was the guy who, whenever the tourists came in for summer, what we call the Lakers, that own all the big fancy mansions out around Camp Ritchie folk, when they came in April or May, all of our prices would skyrocket. And a lot of the foods that we ate were replaced with, you know, uh, sockeye salmon fillets and shrimp and steaks, big steaks like steaks. Our steak prices would go from $10 or $15 for a nice steak that a family could share to a higher cut, and it would be in the 30, 40, $50 range. But it was things like that, and now we have a new owner, and he's stuck between trying to make a profit and not upsetting his customers and meeting that minimum price where he would like things to be priced on a regular basis. But to make any kind of a profit, he's got to soar. I feel sorry for him. He's a great dude. Comes from a nice family. Always been polite. The wife has known him for years. I feel sorry for the kid. I really do. Um, Not yet. it yet, but it will be featured on our music channel. Well, like I said, hey, thanks for dropping that, by the way, David. That way, anybody that comes back in and uh, watches the video later can get that link for your music. Um, Christmas is coming soon, guys. It's coming quick. So, but it's that time. I'm moving a lot slower, trying to see things, not tripping over shit, as y'all have seen by my video watching or my reading messages and stuff. Um, but we're going to hit it. We're going to get busy on other stuff. I especially want to get my stuff done in the kitchen since all of our windows face the south and the west. I don't need any more light in my face than I normally have. So that's it for this week. You guys have a great week. We will be back next Monday morning for more coffee and chat. And get ready for Christmas. So, but you guys all take care. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful week. Have a wonderful day. And we'll catch y'all in a week. Take care. Much love. And we'll see y'all soon.